Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Haley. So today I did a look on this makeup look. It's just, I kind of did a look catered to like fair, pale skin girls like myself because I feel like there's not a lot of pale skin girls here on YouTube, or at least the people that I watch, they're not like as fair as me. And so yeah, I just thought maybe this video would be helpful for some of you guys. And it's more just like an everyday glam look, but you can always, you know, if you don't want lashes, don't wear lashes. If you don't want to wear eyeliner, don't wear eyeliner. But this is kind of just something that I would do on an everyday basis. So yeah, if you guys want to see this look, then just keep watching. Hey guys, okay, so this video is all about fair skin makeup. This is what I look like with no tan. So obviously my face is still a lot lighter than my body. I think that's just because this part never sees the sun, you know, because I always have makeup on and I've never like tanned my face. But anyway, so let's just start with primer. I've already moisturized my face. So the primer I'm going to be using is this new e.l.f. Aqua Primer Mist. I've never seen it before, but I picked it up the other day. So let's just see how it works. Let's spray it first. Okay, just kidding. That like sprayed everywhere. Okay, definitely don't set your makeup with this, but I think it's fine for primer. It definitely just shoots out like and sprays you. Today we are going to color correct a little bit, so I'm just going to take some of this green color corrector. This is the Mehron. I got it at the makeup show like last summer. But when you're fair, you like all the redness really shows. Because when you're tan, you know, that's what's one good thing about being tan, is a lot of people can get away without wearing makeup because the skin, you know, looks good, but whenever you're really fair, like all the redness really shows. So I'm just gonna like put this on the areas that I have some redness before we go in with foundation. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little blender and blend this in before we go in with foundation. Okay, so next is foundation, and obviously when you're fair, you want to find one that matches you pretty closely. And this is probably one of my only foundations that match me like pretty exactly. And this is the WetnWild Photo Focus foundation in Nude Ivory. And I really like this foundation. It's good for pictures. It's pretty good coverage. Like the first layer is not full coverage, but you can really build it up. And I just really like this foundation. And so if you're really fair, they do have color for you. And if you're really dark complected, they have colors for you too. They have like 20 shades of foundation, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. But we're just going to pop this on, and it comes with this little applicator. So obviously it's not sanitary for like a freelance kit, but for your own personal use, I mean, you're the only one that's going to be using it, so it's fine to just use the little wand. So we're just gonna spread this around our face. And we're just going to blend that in using this L'Oreal sponge. I just went and got it damp. But again, I'm still loving this sponge. Can't get over it. But this foundation blends really well with this sponge too. So we're just going to blend this in and then see if we need to go in on any other areas just to build the coverage. So next we're just going to conceal, and I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape, of course. And this is in the shade Fair. And I would use a drugstore concealer, but honestly there's not a lot of drugstore concealers that get fair enough, you know, for people who are really fair. I feel like they really lack in that area. I know I said that before. And I do have some favorite concealers, but for this look, you know, I still want to brighten and everything. So I just find that more higher end brands, you know, cater to more fair skinned people, whereas drugstore kind of struggles in that area. So I'm just putting that in all the normal areas that I would highlight, and we're going to go back with that sponge and just blend this out. Now before we set anything, I am going to use a cream like cushion bronzer today, contour today, because I feel like this one's really natural and it just looks really pretty on fair skin. I don't think I've tried this on tan skin. I have another cream contour I use when I'm a little tanner, but this one looks really good for fair skin. So this is the WetnWild Mega Cushion, and then I just took this MAC brush. It's a MAC 190 brush, just like a foundation brush. And we're just going to draw this in the areas that we want to contour.
And
my favorite way to blend this out is with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And then I just like buff upwards. I just think it gives a little soft, natural contour to the cheeks without going in with like a really dark powder. And we will go over it with a lighter bronzer, but I think that this looks really good. And you could just leave it like this if you didn't want to if you're afraid of like making it look too muddy and stuff. This is a really pretty soft contour. Okay, so now we need to go back and set where we put the concealer. And like I've said, I'm kind of over the baking trend. I more just like set it with powder and press it into the skin. I don't like leave the powder on there just because I have dry skin. But if you have oily skin and you need to, you know, bake and make sure that no oils come through, then, you know, go ahead and do that. But for me, I just press it in. And also what I love about the concealer is it doesn't really crease, so if you do have dry skin like I do, you can get away with like barely using any powder to set it because it doesn't really crease. Okay, so now to set that cream contour that we did, my favorite thing for really fair skin is this Essence Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade 10 Natural. And this is just like the perfect bronzer tone for fair skin. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, so it's not going to make you look gray, because I feel like if it's too cool and you're really fair, you can look like gray and gross looking, but if it's too warm, you know, it just looks really bad and muddy. So this is like the perfect in-between color. So I'm going to take my Morphe M527 brush. It's just like a big fluffy bronzer brush, and we're just gonna put this in the same area that we put the cream contour, just really lightly to set that. Okay, so I also brought that bronzer a little bit up here around the forehead, just so we're not just like bronze in one area. That might look a little weird. But now for blush, so we can bring some color in the face, so we're not just like contour and foundation. For pale skin, I think that like pinky tones, rosy tones are really pretty. So we're gonna take this Milani Romantic Rose Blush. I know I've been using it a lot, but I just think it's very flattering for paler skin. So I'm going to take my Morphe E4 and tap that off, just so we don't put too much color, because since you are so pale, you know, colors really show up really fast. And so that's why with like contour and bronzer and blush, you really gotta be careful with how much you apply, because it can go really bad really fast. So a tip for that is to always tap off the excess of your brush, just so you know you're not going in too heavy-handed. Okay, now moving on to brows. I'm going to be taking the Makeup Revolution pomade. I found this to be really similar to my Anastasia brow pomade, and I might do a whole video on that, like one side with the Makeup Revolution, one side with the Anastasia, and see what you guys think. But I think they're pretty similar in terms of formula and color. So I'm just going to use this today, but I am going to be using the Anastasia brow brush because I love this brush. And I guess all the words came off of it, but it's just her, I think this is like number 14, number 17 brush, but it comes with a spoolie and everything. So yes, I'm just gonna fill in my brows with that. Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. My like camera memory card got full, but we're back and we have brows on, so let's just move on to eyeshadow. So obviously for pale skin, darker colors and any colors really show up more vibrant because we are so fair. But my favorite transition for being pale is Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek. It's just a really nice transition shade, and if you're fair, it will show up and it won't be too dark, but it's a nice transition. So we're just gonna pop this on in the crease. So for this, I'm gonna be using a M502 brush from Morphe, and we're just going to pop this in the crease. Okay, so as you can see, even though that color was super light, since we are so fair, it does show up you know, just like a nice transition, pretty much like a light brown, even though it was like so pale, or at least that's how it shows up on me. I think I want a little bit more like berry to this look. It's just like an everyday look, and I feel like it'll bring out my blue eyes. So you just kind of, you do whatever will bring out your eye color or whatever you want to do. Of course, I have like tons of looks on my channel if you want to see any other tutorials from me where I do more of like a more creative look. But today we're just doing more like an everyday glam look. So I am going to pop on this Making Moves from Colourpop just to bring a little bit more like the berry pinky tones in this look, because I find that's what really complements pale skin tones. So I'm just going to use the same brush, tap off the excess, and just go a little bit lower in the crease. So with this color, I'm not bringing it too far in the inner part and more focusing on the outer half just to deepen it up a little bit. But we don't want it too deep since this is more like an everyday look. But I think I'm going to take like a shade darker than the shade we just used. So I'm going to go in with Get Out from Colourpop just to tone it down just a little bit. And for this shade, I'm going to be using this Crown Brushes Blending Fluff Brush. And just focusing on the outer corner again. And then I'm going to take Sienna from Anastasia Beverly Hills on that same Crown Brushes brush and just go over that berry shade just a little bit to bring some more back into it, like the more orangey tones. For the inner part of the lid, I'm going to take this Vanilla Bean shade from Makeup Geek on just a clean fluffy brush and just kind of go over the inner part just to make sure there's no shadow, just to brighten it back up. But we're not being too precise with it. And then we're just going to highlight the brow bone with that shade as well. Okay, so these are the eyes. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the underneath before we move on to eyeliner. So I'm just going to take that peach smoothie shade that we used and then a little bit of that berry shade and mix them together and drag them on the lower lash line. Okay, so these are kind of the eyes, nothing too dark or smoky, and then we're just going to do eyeliner. And I mean, I use black eyeliner on an everyday basis, but if you're not comfortable and you want to use more like a brown or just a shadow, go ahead and do that. But I mean, I do black wing liner all the time and I think it looks fine, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just using the KatVonD little felt tip pen. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the liner. So let's just highlight the inner corner. And I'm going to throw back to what I always love, and I just think it really brightens up the inner corner. And this is Nylon by MAC. It's just a beautiful inner corner highlight, and I always use this on a Morphe E18. And I just find that it really brightens up the eye, and it's a really nice pale shade, so it's not too dark for the inner corner. Okay, so I'm going to go apply some lashes off camera. And the ones I'm going to be using are the Mykonos lashes from Lilly Lashes. Okay, so now the lashes are on, and it's my first time wearing these, but I really like them. They're really pretty and full. Okay, so let's just move on to highlight. So obviously, highlight is one of those things where if it's too dark, it just looks like a line, and it's kind of hard to find them for pale skin. But this e.l.f. highlighter, it's the Baked Highlighter Moonlight Pearls, is perfect, I find, for more fair skin. So we're just going to use my M510 from Morphe. And also this highlighter, if you haven't heard, you have to scrape off the whole top layer before it actually will work. But after you do that, it's really pretty. So just going to pop this on, and you can build this up to as natural or as intense as you want. Okay, so then for lips, like what I find most flattering is like pinky tones, or because anything like too nude might wash you out, but if it has like a hint of pink or like a peach to it, it's really pretty. Or like darker rosy tones, I find that are really pretty. So I think I'm gonna mix this Essence lip liner in A Girl's Dream and this Anastasia liquid lipstick in Crush. This is like my favorite. It's like my perfect nudie pink, but it comes off a lot darker on me because I am fair. But when I do wear this with self-tanner, it's more of like a pinky nude. But this is such a pretty color, and I find that it complements the skin and everything really well. So I'm just gonna line my lips with this first, and then we'll go in with the liquid lipstick. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I really like how this turned out, and I really hope that this helps some of you guys out if you were kind of struggling with, like, you know, what type of colors to use, or if you just can't find a foundation that matches you. That Wet n Wild foundation is really good. But yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Obviously it's more of a glam look with the lashes, but you could totally do this look without the lashes, without the eyeshadow, just like wing liner and mascara, or whatever is more comfortable for you. But I always wear eyeshadow because it's my favorite thing to do. So this is what I would do like on an everyday basis. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Go ahead on, break them off with a little previews of the remix. Now I'm not trying to be rude. I need you, boo. I gotta see you, boo.
And there's hearts all over the world tonight. Say there's hearts all over the world tonight. I need you, boo. I gotta see you, boo.